Welcome to Breakthrough Mode, the podcast where we intentionally get into the driver's seat of our lives, shift out of monotony and mediocrity, and step on the gas towards becoming the person we were always meant to become. Hello and welcome to Monday Morning with Megan on the Breakthrough Mode podcast. This is episode 256. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me today and pushing play on today's episode. I have been having so much fun with our weekly themes of decluttering. Just as a little recap, in the first week, we chatted about physical decluttering and how that makes an impact. In the second week, we talked about reclaiming our digital spaces and digitally decluttering. And this week, we are going at an abstract angle, but one that is going to make a massive difference. So something I noticed recently that I do is I get on these I'll do it later loops. It's the email that I read and then mark unread because I can't respond right now. I don't know what to say. I haven't decided. I don't know. So I just mark it unread so that I can deal with it later. It's when my oldest comes to me and she's like, "Mom, I need new skirts for school." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's okay. We got to do that, but I'll do it later." It's when my youngest comes to me and is like, "Mom, I would love new shoes for school." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll get to the store later. We'll do it later." And I get on these I'll do it later loops. It's the little things. It's the email. It's the skirts. It's the shoes. It's things that I just didn't have the capacity to deal with right then. So it gets pushed off until later. This procrastination, this later, isn't a neutral feeling. It is a weight that I am choosing to carry. Because when I say later, I don't actually schedule it. When I say later, I don't actually put it on my to-do list. When I say later, it just hangs out in my head, in my consciousness, with a little flag that says, "This needs attention," with hundreds of other things with little flags that need attention. And this creates chaos in my head, which then makes it feel like I am experiencing chaos in my environment, in my experience, where it's like I've got all of these things going on in my brain, things that I've put a little flag on that says need attention, and there's still all of the tasks on the physical plane that need taken care of, ones with visual cues that aren't just hanging out in my head. This week, we are going from chaos to conscious because a lot of the times in our experience of things, it's not actually about what's going on in our reality. It's what's going on in our heads. When our heads are full of chaos, they're full of tasks, they're full of ideas, they're full of things that we need to get to, decisions we need to make, when it's full of all of those things, when we feel chaos in our head, we feel chaos with outside of us because this is fact. Whatever is going on in your head, whatever that feeling is in your head, that is what you are going to feel outside of yourself. So, when you've got too much going on in your head, when you have too many things you're trying to remember, too many mental balls you're trying to juggle, it's going to feel like chaos outside of you as well. This is what we're working on this week. And this week, I encourage you to notice what causes chaos in your mind. This could be procrastinated tasks, ideas that you haven't given enough time and attention to. It could be things on your schedule that you feel like you're just running from here to there, here to there. It could be decisions that you need to make. Take a look at what creates that feeling of chaos, and then start to ask yourself, what will alleviate that? Of course, we're going to get deeper into this all week long, but right now it starts with awareness. It starts with acknowledging. It starts with seeing it and noticing it and making that connection of every time I mark an email unread that I did read, it creates this feeling of chaos. Take a look at that. Start to notice, because it all starts there. I'll be in your email tomorrow with a personal story, and of course, we'll be back with Wednesday in the Wild on Wednesday. And I will leave you with a quote. This quote is by Stephen Covey. He said, "The key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities." Consider your schedule as one of these things that hangs out in your head that impacts your mental capacity. And consider what it feels like when you are taking care of the priorities and when you're not. Because I bet when it's your priorities that keep being procrastinated, your level of chaos, your feeling of chaos is going to be higher than if you actually took care of the things that are truly important to you. Once those things are taken care of, everything else might seem to feel easier. Take a look at that. Think about that. Have a great week. Until next time, I totally love you. Bye for now.